from Caravan Guard Insurance. Having a regular habitation check of your motorhome is not only essential to keep you safe on your travels, but it can also help to identify small problems before they turn into costly repairs. You can have your habitation check carried out by your dealership or by a mobile engineer at home at your convenience. We're here with Habcheck and we're going to ask them a series of questions about what's involved in a habitation check of your motorhome. So let's start by asking, what is a habitation check?
A Habcheck is a full inspection, a detailed inspection of the interior. So we check all of the safety elements. It's more of a, we call it an MOT for the habitation area. So we check all the safety elements, check all of your gas systems, your water systems, the electrical systems, and then obviously we'll check the bodywork, but with the bodywork it's the interior, so that's where we do the damp check. We'll check all your windows shut correctly and that there's no water ingress anywhere. A habitation check isn't a service. When you have a motorhome, you have a front end and a back end, as we call it in the industry. So you have the engine area. So when you have a vehicle serviced under the warranty, they will do the engine service, change the oil and all of those elements. They check the brakes and the chassis. A hab check is the habitation part, so that's the back end as we call it. At the start of every habitation service, our engineer will do a walk-around video. So we check the exterior of the vehicle, we'll check the bodywork, we'll advise you if there are any scratches, any dents, if they can see any marks where it might cause any further issues, such as a water ingress, check that the seals are correct around the lights, etc., and the windows externally. Also, as part of the service, they check the water systems. They will drain the water out and then refill the tanks so that they can check that the water's being supplied and pumped through correctly. As part of the gas system check, every time you have a pipe replaced, you have a certificate signed. We replace the pipe if it's split or damaged in any way. Obviously, with it being a travelable item, it does move around, so it can be secure your last service and then loose the next service. It's quite normal. The electrical systems, they check in two separate areas. So they will check the battery, check that it's connected correctly and that the correct current is being fed to the appliances. Then inside they will check all of the sockets, make sure that everything's working correctly. Towards the end of the service, what happens is they'll do an interior damp check. It's non-invasive, so they don't use the prongs, so you won't be left with any dents or marks within the vehicle. So they'll do a thorough inspection of all areas within the motorhome, checking for water ingress. The benefits of a habitation check are, most importantly, peace of mind. Also, it helps you maintain any warranty. If you purchase a vehicle from new, you generally have a water ingress warranty on it for sort of 3 to 6 years. They stipulate that you do have to have that checked annually. It increases the value of the vehicle when it comes to resale if you've had regular habitation services. It also helps you with any safety elements of the vehicle because it's a movable system, so the gas pipes can work themselves clear, so they're only deemed safe at the time that they leave the factory, whereas it does need checking annually because you are driving around in the vehicle. Be aware that a motorhome has got 3 major elements. It has gas, it has electricity, it has water. All of these move around as you're travelling. It is imperative that they are checked regularly. Also, your insurer stipulates that you have to keep your motorhome in a good state of repair. The cost of a habitation check varies nationwide. It generally starts from about £200 upwards. A habitation check should take a minimum of 3 hours to do. So if you're being charged £100 for your service and it's taking an hour, I would question that. The top tips for a habitation check are you need to be mindful that the engineer needs full access around the motorhome. He also will need to access the interior of the vehicle, so we need all keys to lockers, internal, external. We also need access to electricity, we need mains access, and they will need access to water. You don't need to empty the lockers, but be mindful that if the lockers are full and the engineer does need to access inside that locker, he will remove those items, but he will put them back again at the end.
A huge thank you to Habcheck for going through all the things that are involved in a habitation check of your motorhome. And remember, it is important to get your motorhome regularly serviced so that you and your family are safe on the road and that your motorhome is kept in a good and sound roadworthy condition. It's also important that you do get your motorhome serviced by an engineer who is a member of the approved workshop scheme. And for more hints and tips, why not head on over to the Caravan Guard website. Thanks for watching and happy motorhoming.